Nicolau, though, is going to make this an interesting fight. And the reason why is because both of them, fantastic jiu-jitsu, fantastic striking. Nicolau is just a little more patient. I think a little bit of a better counter striker. Both of them super fast. But Nicolau has had a tendency to kind of make you think in a couple of these fights where he has these close ones, but he's doing just enough to edge you out. He's countering you at the right time. He's hitting you with the power at the right time. And a Matt Schnell, I think we saw very, very thoroughly in his last fight against Sumaderji, who is a fantastic striker. Schnell is there to get caught. You know what I mean? If Nicolau catches him, he also has the grappling to go in there and finish the fight. He has the grappling to control the fight. But I will say both of these dudes, I do think, prefer being off their back more than they do want to be in top control. So if you had to choose a path to victory for a Matt Schnell that doesn't involve getting knocked out and just resetting yourself and being like, I'm back, now I'm going to win this fight. I mean, how does he do it, bro?
I think if Matt Schnell, and it's going to be a hard, massive mountain to climb, but if Matt Schnell does it, man, he's going to have to do it on the ground. I don't see him outstriking Nicolau, but I also really don't see him out grappling Nicolau in this one as well, because Nicolau is dangerous on the ground. But Matt Schnell is as well, man. He can throw up a lot of things and get you in some weird transitions. We saw him transition from a triangle to like an omoplata. He can throw up some crazy things. But at the same point, Nicolau is also very, very dangerous there too. As that's still really the only route I see it. What about you, Derek?
I mean, that's a tough route to win because Nicolau's never been submitted in his career, right? He has been knocked out once, never been submitted. I'm just looking at like the last 3-4 fights between these guys. I guess the last 5. And you can even argue Matt Schnell has a more dangerous last 5 than Nicolau does, right? For Schnell, you got Alexandre Pantoja, Tyson Nam, Rogerio Bontorin, Brandon Royval, Sumaderji. For Nicolau, you got David Dvorak. I don't think he's in the UFC anymore. Tim Elliott, Manel Kape, Felipe Efrain, and that was out when he wasn't even in the UFC. So like if we're talking about 3 versus 5, I guess, for like UFC caliber fighters, right? Now, having 2 wins over Manel Kape and Tim Elliott, that's pretty damn impressive. But I do think this is going to come down to that striking matchup, man. Who can get more done on the feet? If there's takedowns, how do you mix them up? And I do see this one, and I'm going to let the cat out the bag, man. I have a hard time seeing this end in a finish. You know what I mean? I think that a decision is probably going to be the most apt. 2 flyweights, throwing it all out there. The thing about it, Nicolau, at the end of the day, man, as much as I'm a big fan of him, volume is one of the biggest issues. So it's deceiving because Matt Schnell, 4.34 significant strikes landed per minute. Nicolau, 3.64. But Nicolau just in the fight, a lot of lateral movement. He doesn't want to be a stationary target. Like I said, I think that'll prove to be the difference. Let's talk these numbers here. What do you think about Matt Schnell's odds, bro? Plus 900 TKO, plus 1,400 for the sub, plus 550 for the decision. Once again, we're seeing skewed odds. I don't really know why it's that much of a lean because I think this could be a close fight. But I do like the props on Nicolau. Which one of the Nicolau props you like the most?
Yeah, they're really throwing around some crazy numbers for this Orlando card, but for the Nicolau prop, I mean, I like that TKO, that plus 275. I see it that way. I like it, but I also agree with you and the prop makers, Derek, that plus 125 seems to be the most logical decision here. And to that point, Matt Schnell is very, very hard to put away. The one thing I do think that kind of favors Nicolau in that finish or in that TKO that I'm looking for is the fact that he can get things to the ground, distract Matt Schnell into thinking this is going to be a grappling fight after he tagged him up a little bit, and then work a ground and pound and get it finished that way. Other than that, I see this as well going to a decision. Personally, though, I'm going Nicolau, and I'm going with that TKO, and I'm gonna say late round 3.
Okay, so, I mean, shoot, man, this fight right here, it looks like, 2.5 rounds. So what are you taking? Are you taking the over?
Yeah, taking the over.
Oh, man. So you're talking about a last-second knockout right here. Understood. And listen, man, this is almost a pick 'em on the over and under. Minus 120 for the over, minus 110 for the under. So the odds makers don't know what to do here, but not a problem because we got you covered. The pick here, Bloody Water Consensus, Matheus Nicolau. I got the decision. AJ got the TKO, but we're both taking the over. So we'll give it to you right there. Good fight on deck right here, man.